Cooking, folks.
Welcome to the Supercoach Take podcast. It's our 5th episode, and today we discuss the Marsh series round 1. So finally, footy's back. My co-host, Enno, what's going on?
Hey, George, how you going, mate? Very excited with watching the footy this weekend. Supercoach Take podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at Supercoach Take, Facebook at Supercoach Take as well, Spotify, YouTube and Podbean. And also don't forget to join the Discord, which you can find our links in all those descriptions somewhere. Alrighty, Saints and Hawks on Thursday night, wasn't it? You didn't get to watch this one, did you?
No, but I was watching the scores very closely.
No Foxtel in your hotel room?
I was spewing, but got by okay.
Titch, you made a tweet straight away in the first quarter after he came out like a pig, few tackles, early touches. He looked good. He looked good, to be honest. He didn't spend a lot of time on ground. He sort of came off towards the end. I think he didn't play the last quarter and a half. But did you watch any highlights, or what's your thoughts on his performance?
I didn't see a second. But yeah, I don't know, just reading stuff about him was getting flashbacks from 2018 of how good he was.
Yeah.
Just the permanent captain option. For me, the standards of the midfielders are so high that I still think that his time on ground isn't going to be 90% as it used to be.
Not from the start, anyway. Yeah.
But he did look. He's coming along a lot better than we thought. Yeah, I'm not sure I pick him. Maybe 30-70, 50-50. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, not me either. I mean, it's just 5, 6, probably 7 other guys that are just so safe to probably average around what he will, or, probably better. So, yeah, I don't see the upside in starting this year, but he's definitely, if he looks good early, he's going to be one of our first upgrade targets for sure.
Yeah, would want to jump on him. What did you make of Seckler's game?
He was pretty good. I think we all know he's not the best ruckman, going around as far as his tap work, but he gets a lot of touches as well around the ball. He only played 60-something% time on ground and got 80 points. So, had 8 clearances with only 12 touches, I think. So, he can get his points from other ways, not just rucking. Can go forward, kick a goal as well. So I still think he could be an option. I'd want to see it again, one more game, but I don't hate the pick. What do you think?
There's always that risk of a role change somewhere down the line, or McAvoy rucks.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's going to ruck fairly early, and I don't know if they change that. For me, long term, it's too risky. But you do get that ruck cover as well, which is pretty nice. So that can definitely pay off. I don't think I can pick him. But yeah, he looks good. So Hunter Clark, I'm not going to lie, he was in my team for maybe 10 minutes. But I think, he's very young. We haven't seen him play with Robertson yet. So I don't think I'd get another look at him, but I don't think I'm going to pick him. But for 400,000, it's not a lot to pay for for Hunter Clark, and he looked good. He got a bit of mid-time, not a lot. Have you considered Hunter at all?
Look, slightly. He's a gun. I think he'll be a great player. Like you said, he didn't play with Robertson, so we don't know how much the ball he's going to get or what that dynamic's going to be. Same as, I think, Webster didn't play, or Geary either. So, there's a lot of their halfbacks that didn't play on Thursday. But, no, I reckon he's got something. He looks like a good footballer for the future for sure. I got all my Saints mates telling him he's the next Jesus Christ. So, but, no, he kicked a good goal from 50. He's going to be a good player for sure, but I'm not going to pick him at this stage.
Actually, I saw some highlights. Just the way he moves, it's so good. It's really good. It's really good to watch.
Yeah.
So I think you can go for it if you want. I don't think I will though. Still very young, but like the look of him. So now rookies, Greaves from Hawthorn. Don't know much about him, but very unsure if he plays round 1. But he scored okay. So I think with Greaves, basically, we just see if he's named round one or not. Give him another look when he plays his next game. But yeah, scored okay. I think 70 odd, something like that.
Yep.
And Max King. Are we starting Max King?
Look, if we have to, if there aren't a lot of other, well, it depends how deep you go on the forward line too with your primos and or mid prices. But he's going to play. They're going to play him. He's going to kick a bag at some stage, probably one game every 2 months. But he's not really a field option. He's just going to be on the bench, slowly burning away, making some money. But that's the thing. He's going to play every game, so that's the thing he has going for him compared to these other rookies that we don't really know yet.
That's it, though. You chuck him at FA, and hopefully he has a big game and his price spikes.
Yeah.
Definitely capable of it. Now we move on to the Dogs versus North. Lots of relevance here.
Yes. I think you could start off with this one.
My new M5 or 6, Marcus Bontempelli. I'm on board. I was on board watching him. He produced a few highlights in the first few minutes, and it just I guess it's hard to say confirmed judging on 5 minutes, but I've read a lot of good things about Bont. It's more of a gut thing. It's the year of the Bontempelli in 2020.
The Temple.
The Temple. I'm in. I love Bont, and he's 20. He's just turned 24,
Yeah, that's
so
ridiculous.
a year younger than Josh Kelly. I remember, I think Crum said on one of my YouTube comments, he said Bontempelli was on radio, and he said, "You'll regret it if you don't pick me in Supercoach." Although I think I think that was last year, so I assume he has the same attitude. So we like that a bit of I don't know, is it arrogance? I don't know, but confidence. So
Yeah,
I'm on board.
he looks
I
slick.
I understand he's going to get De Boer twice, although he did handle De Boer okay, scored a 90 and an 80 odd against him last year.
Yeah,
And I think he gets, I assume, I can't know for sure, he plays more in the midfield because last year he had around 32-ish percent time in the forward line and still averaged 115. So I think
yeah,
he gets better and he plays more mid.
yeah. I can
Are
see.
you in?
The thing is, I'm only in if I know you don't see an issue with it. I probably don't really either, but it's not more the scoring, having all three doggies mids, and I know we're both starting Kelly. It's just the buy.
Yeah, and there's
So
Titch waiting as well.
yeah, so I just feel like you can't go on all, even though I have no problem if there was no buys, I probably would. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
no, he looked a class above. I mean, North didn't really put out much of an effort, if I'm honest. Watching that game, it looked a bit too easy
Yeah.
for the Dogs, but no, he was a class above, and he gets those important kicks. He's the link. He, hits targets inside 50, so that's how he scores, so quickly and so heavily because it's not just uncontested handballs and whatever. He's every good possession of his. I mean, we've probably been saying this for a couple of years, but every possession of his is just super important.
Yeah.
It means a lot to the outcome of the game. But no, yeah, love the Bont. I would have to drop one of McRae or Dunkley if I was to start him. So yeah, don't hate
I
it.
couldn't do that, so I have to do all three. I'm too emotionally invested.
I think his ownership went up from 10 to 20%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from after
Oh,
over the weekend. So,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, love the Bont. So next we have Lipinski and Bailey Smith. We'll group them together. I like Bailey Smith. I didn't see enough mid opportunity for him. I thought they might trial him on a wing, but not exactly sure. I think Libba comes in maybe a month or two in, probably a month in of the season because he's still injured.
yeah,
I feel like they just because there's so many points to go around, and now Bontempelli, well, I think anyway, takes a bit more mid time. That might chew into McRae and Dunkley's score just a little bit. I'm not sure, but I feel like they probably capped it at like 90 average just because of the amount of points to go around. What do you think?
Well, looking at I think the CBAs for this game, the three big guys had all 20 plus, and then I think Bailey Smith was next, had 9, and then Lipinski 8.
Yeah.
Like I think the Dogs took this game pretty, like they took it as like a big warm up. Play their best team. I know they didn't have their good forwards, but they pretty much everywhere else had their best team and played it seriously. So if that's anything to go by, like you said, I don't think that either of these guys have enough opportunity, to in the midfield. At least we know Wallace didn't play. He hardly played, I think, at all. So he's clearly not in their plans for round 1. So that's maybe a good sign. But I just don't think, like you said, they have enough mid-time to score what we want them to.
Yeah, I think they're just okay options. I think we're seeing a few other options around their price pop up. But yeah, don't hate it, but hard to see them averaging over 90. So Aiden Bonner played okay, good contested side to his game. There was no Higgins and no Zeeble. Does that mean that he has to play a bit forward? I'm not sure. I don't think he would be happy with that because that's what happened at the Giants.
Yeah.
So it's just to wait and see if he plays round 1 and get a better look at him in the next Marsh game. Not much to say else really, but he looked okay.
He's good in the contest. I just think that's all he really has. So that's his only probably role he could fit. So if there's a spot there, beautiful. But if there's not, like you said, at the Giants, I don't think he can play anywhere else. So
not sold on his job security either.
No.
We'll get another look. So here's a bit of time to prove himself. And Marnie didn't look great apparently. What do you think?
Yeah, I did write that down, but I feel like he was around the ball, and up North obviously didn't have they didn't play the best game, so it's hard as a small forward to do amazing in a game like that. But I just don't think he'll get a game, to be honest. That's probably what I'm more leaning towards. So, I mean, wait and see. But he's okay. He's pretty small. He's a very small guy, actually. But
I think he was drafted this year, 2019. So
looks like he puts on a lot of pressure. So maybe he's got that going for him. But not sure he plays.
Bench spot at absolute best case.
Yeah.
Probably then. Probably not even. So that's that game there. That is North and the Dogs. And now we move on to the Demons versus the Crows. Interesting game. I think the talking point out of this one is Christian Petracca.
Yep.
We've seen this over the past few years. He's been threatening to break out. Do you think he can?
I think he can. I want to see it again. Obviously, he's never had a game like this. I mean, not many people have, actually. Was it like a contested possession record? And
yeah.
Did he what did you say? Ever had over 30 touches once in his whole career? Or never. There you go. So I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game. I watched, I think, the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then I was doing other things. But how did Adelaide look with I know Sloan went off early. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me more about this, but apparently the track just looked that good that it's going to be hard not to pick him. That's what everyone's saying. So
I can speak on this.
Yeah.
So I watched most of the game. So in the first half, the Crows played they played okay. Crows are probably going to finish bottom 4.
Yeah.
Development, yeah. But Crows were up at halftime. So when the game was kind of in the balance, I know it's a trial game, but Petracca was playing really well, taking contested marks, kicking goals. He's always been a really good contested player. He just looked unbelievable. And I'm trying to figure out what's different this year from the last previous years, because I think that's the main thing we have to look at. Because last year there was an article on him, no good. And I think we expect Melbourne to do better than last year. So that's one thing. They have Darren Burgess come in as their fitness guy. We saw what he did, the immediate impact he had with Port Adelaide, probably 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, so he finished 5th in the best and fairest in 2019. I guess his competition wasn't very difficult. But what I liked about Petracca is that he shows up every game. I believe I have to double check this, but I'm pretty sure I couldn't find it. He was the number one rated forward for pressure in 2019. So it tells me that he turns up every week and he has a really strong work ethic. So that impressed me. And in 2020, we're hearing his body shape's changed a bit, and he said that he wants to significantly increase his midfield time. So he averaged 81 last year playing. He's not even considered a mid forward. He's just a pure forward. So he would have played a heck of a lot in the forward line.
Yeah.
So I think the scope for improvement is there, and it's a matter of whether you believe the articles or not. And this Marsh game backed it up. We need to see another game. Right now, he's in my team, and he wouldn't have dreamt of him being in my team a week ago. So we'll give Petracca another look, but I really like what I saw, and I like the fact that he was ranked number one for pressure in the forward line, because it shows that he turns up every week. So keep an eye on Petracca for next week. But he's in my team. So he's not in your team at the
I think I
moment?
want to watch him live. You know, well, they don't have a game next week. I'd assume probably in 2 weeks. But yeah, I want to just watch him see, because I didn't get to see the game. So everything I'm hearing though looks like he's going to be in all our forward lines come round one.
He looked good. We can move on to Wayne Miller. I did start him last year. He was looking good until he got injured and had a role change in the same round, which was right in the first, right when upgrade season started. So it put me behind a lot. That's another story. I've watched what Miller's just signed a new contract. I think he seems a bit happier at the club now, because last year, from basically what he's been saying this year, he does not ever want to set foot in the forward line ever again. And because he had to accommodate for David McKay, Laird,
Douglas,
Smith,
all these old guys. Yeah.
or just the guys off half back,
Yeah.
he had to move to the forward line. And it made sense. He kind of had the skill set, but he's just not comfortable there. And after he got injured and then had to play a bit in the forward line, I think his confidence was completely shot, and he was playing SANFL standard football. But for the first 5 rounds of last year, he was averaging around 95 off halfback, and he looked really good, taking kick-ins and everything. And with Smith moving up the ground, there are more kick-ins to be had in defence. I don't mind this for 400k. I do worry because he is injury-prone, and for me, I'm looking at my team collective risk. I already have Josh Kelly, and I guess you can say Devon Smith as well. Throw in Sam Doherty. It's too much risk for me, I think, but I actually don't mind this pick at 400,000. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's a gun. He's got an elite kick. It looks like the Crows are going to be sort of playing that game style. I only watched the first quarter or half the first quarter, but trying to kick it out of defence, him led. Brodie Smith obviously is going to go to the forward line, but it looks like they're trying to play that kicking game. So that really suits him. I don't hate the pick, but not for me in my team as it stands. But no, definitely don't hate it at all.
Yep. Next we have Riley O'Brien. So every ruckman we talk about, pure ruckman, we have to compare to Gawn basically. I think I'm 50-50 on Rob Gawn. It's very difficult. It depends on rookies and stuff. I am a little bit scared to not start Gawn, to be honest. But on Riley O'Brien, I thought he played well. He was rucking against Wiedemann and Jackson. I don't think Jackson rucked a whole lot.
No.
But Rob just did what he had to do, played well. I think he led for contested possessions, for the Crows. Liked his game, so I fully expect Rob. He said he wants to take his game to another level this year. I guess that's what everyone's aiming for, but now that he's actually had that year at AFL level, that should help him a lot. I'm hoping for 105 to 110 average from him. I think he's capable. Whether he does, I think he'll get close at least. But just didn't have any doubts about the game. Just did what he had to do. So I don't mind Rob. Anything on Rob from you?
No, you covered it mostly. I mean, I'm starting Gorn as it is now. I can definitely see Rob doing what you're saying. He's got all the tools. There's no sharing Ruck. He's pretty much the main. He's the main guy. So um, he's durable. He's fit. He'd probably play every game. Unless some major unlucky injury. So there's no threat there.
Yeah.
I'm picking Gorn at this stage because just think he just got named captain. Like an hour ago. So I think he's just gonna.
Yeah.
If he's fit and fine, I just don't see myself without him. So, yeah.
Yeah. We can quickly touch on the rookies. So Ned McHenry
How do you
played
look?
in the second half. He shaved his head. Interesting. Not that that matters. He's a bit of a hard nut. He tried too hard, I think. He just overcommitted to tackles. I think he's going to end up getting suspended for just really aggressive tackles. He's going to concuss somebody. Just came out to play and just wanted to tackle people.
Yeah.
And should have given away a few free kicks, but didn't get pinned for it. I think he's worth a bench spot because the Crows need to play youth. I think he played in the middle a little bit, got a few centre bounce attendances. I like him as a bench spot. I hope he plays round one. I don't think he's guaranteed. He's had a few niggles in the preseason, but seems to be over them. So yeah, I think we just keep an eye on McHenry for a bench spot.
Yep.
Would be very disappointed if he was dropped or doesn't play round one, to be honest, but that's up to the coaches. Pickett I think it's Keziah Pickett
He's got a long first name.
the hyphen.
I wrote him down just because I watched that doco in Melbourne, and I mean, it's true, they really don't have a gun small forward, so that's what they were saying on draft night. Obviously, they took Jackson at 3, then they were really looking for a good small forward, and he was the best in the draft. So he kicked a nice goal. I saw a highlight on the weekend. I just think he'll play early because they don't have a lot of good small forwards, and he's as long as he's fit and has done the right things in the preseason, I think he plays. Do we pick him? Probably not. He's 157k, and there's Max King there, and he's probably just going to score as well as he would anyway. So we probably don't pick him, but I think he plays. So that's my thoughts on him.
Maybe absolute last resort, but ideally don't pick him.
Just too expensive.
Yeah, you never know though. Top pick in the draft, but just probably leave him for now. Give him another game. And Jordan Butts for the Crows played okay in defence. Played in the SNFL for a while now. If he's named round one, I think you can pick him because he has a bit of scoring power from defence, but there is a bit of competition for spots down there. I know Jake Kelly and stuff like that. Just give him another game. Need a better look at him.
Yep.
Should we release a league code?
Yes, I think it's time. If you're still listening, this is the code for the Supercoach Take podcast league. It is 186329. So get in before it's full. Like the Twitter one. The Twitter one goes up in about a minute.
People weren't happy with that, but
no.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, there's a few more to come. So
yep,
alrighty.
Should be good. Gold Coast first. Geelong, interesting game. Not sure how much you take a read into this game, with Gold Coast winning by 10 odd goals, maybe more.
Finals, I think, for Gold Coast.
Best game they've ever played, definitely. First thing we can speak about is Hugh Greenwood. So I think a lot of people have considered Greenwood, and he had the role. His time on ground went up, but he played against literally nobody. Dangerfield for the first half, and that was pretty much it. No Selwood. I don't think Duncan played. I can't remember.
No, he's got a little niggle, I think.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it would have been... Atkins would have just been being their best midfielder just about.
And Narkle, so...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if this was more Gold Coast being good or Geelong being bad. I'm going to leave Greenwood for now, but I think there's a good case to pick him. He has the game. I think in losses, his game can stand up because it's very contested.
That's the question. Like, they won by 10 goals and he scored, 109 or something. Can he do it in, the losses that they're going to have?
Yeah. I'm taking Petracca for now. So yeah, probably leave Greenwood, but if you want to pick him, the role should be there, and hopefully his time on ground stays above 80. Next we have Patrick Dangerfield. I will not pick the King this year, not because he scored 60 or anything, but because of his age. And I don't know if his age matters to him, but at 29 it can. And this is the year that you need to nail the mids, otherwise it's going to be pretty painful. Because everyone else looks like they're going 115, 120-ish. So I think anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, can a 30-year-old carry a midfield like that he's going to have to do this year? Selwood's really getting on. And they just got all these young kids coming through with Kelly obviously gone. So, I mean, he definitely could, but it feels bad to say this, but I'm probably betting against him doing that and averaging 115 plus. I probably see a more 110, 112 average from him. And can he play every game? I know he's been pretty durable most of his career, but I just like all those mids in the 23 to 27-year-old bracket, especially for this year. So, yeah, could see him in my side, for post-buy run or something like that, like he did last year. Just not starting with him.
He has the first buy, so you could wait till round 13, I believe.
Yep.
Bring him in for the last two buys. But yeah, happy to wait and see on Danger. Is a superstar though, so never know. Could prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Matty Rao. I think we have to.
Yeah, I don't see how you can't really.
Yeah, you have to. That's all that needs to be said. We saw the case with Walsh last year. Don't want to be that guy without Walsh or Rao because it's a long way back.
He can average 90. He can easily do that at Gold Coast. So
sky's the limit for him. And Buderick, if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Did he play? I think he played in defence. I think.
I'm not too sure. I didn't catch the game, so.
Okay. Me neither.
I can't say much on him.
Yeah.
But he's a nice price. So, I mean, if he's selected, definitely would consider him.
Give him another look. But, yeah, great price and scored well. I think he's still pretty young. I think he came from the 2019 draft.
Yep.
But, yeah, give him another look. But now he's F7 or M11 for me.
Yeah. He kicked a nice goal. I mean, it says here on Fan Footy he played a variety of roles, so he probably played everywhere on the night. Got thrown around. So we'll see.
We can move to the final game of Port. Who did they play again?
Brisbane.
That's right. Port versus Brisbane. Okay, it's cut off here, my bad. Port versus Brisbane. I think we were all watching Dan Houston.
Yep.
Ken Hinkley said he's a lock for the midfield, and he didn't lie. Played, I think it was 24 centre bounce attendances, something like that, and the next best had 20.
Yeah.
Not sure he gets that many every week.
No, but it's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think he played great. I don't know, I just thought he was sometimes off the ball. He didn't move a whole lot, but I guess it's pre-season, it's whatever. What do you think of... Oh, he's still in my team. I definitely think there's a lot to work with here. But what do you think of Houston?
Oh, yeah, he's in my team. I don't see him coming out with the opportunity he's going to get. I know he didn't look like the best mid. I mean, when Lachie Neale's doing what he's doing on the other team, you sort of look at Houston and you're like, well, he's nowhere near that. But he's not a midfielder. He's learning to play midfield. So if he's going to get the opportunity, he's going to be in my team. He still scored 96. He had like 10 clearances or something. So if he's at that many centre bounces and around the ball, he's bound to at least average 95 for me. So he's definitely in my team.
Yep, did notice him a fair bit around the ball.
Yeah.
So
could probably just do better around the ball, but he'll get better.
Yep. Just trust what Ken Hinkley said. They said, they love what he brings to the midfield. So, they definitely want him there, and I trust that. Connor Rosie, All-Australian for 2020, in my opinion. Just watching him play cricket at the Bushfire game, he was unbelievable. I'm like, is this guy 19, 20 years old? He's unreal.
It's
I'm not
talent.
sure he gets, yeah, Crows really should have traded up for him. That's another story. I like, I don't hate Rosie as a pick, but I just think they need him up forward. He's just too good there. Definitely we'll get a little bit of mid time, especially with Ollie Wines out, Willem Drew's injured, and Rockcliffe is probably fighting for a spot in the 22, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's had a pretty interrupted preseason. I think if you want to pick this, you can. I'm going to leave it. I think he scored like 160% game time, was concussed for a bit. I had to go off for a test. What do you think of Connor Rosie?
Superstar. I just can't
Yeah,
see us picking him in classic. He's a gun. There's no really other way to put it. But the too much forward time, just like you said,
yeah,
he's obviously he's not quite Heaney level. I mean, he could be, but as far as Heaney still plays a lot of forward, but can score well. I don't know if he can do like a 95 average, or 90 plus with that much forward time. He's going to have his big
yeah,
games, but he's also going to have his really quiet ones.
yeah.
So you don't want to pick someone like that in classic, but yeah, maybe in years to come when he gets thrown in the mids more, that's pretty much it.
Yep, love to watch him play though.
Oh yeah,
I think he'll be in our teams in the future though, as mid forward.
yeah,
Scott Lysette, I think you have to put a line through Lysette to be honest, just because we've seen Ken Hinkley drop him before, and Laddams is kind of threatening his spot.
yep,
So it's just too risky. I don't care how well he can score, which he can. Just too risky if they play Laddams. Do you think the
yeah.
same?
Wait and see. Oh, I mean, I'm not picking him. I'm with you.
Yeah,
That's no question for me. But if I was to be looking for another option, I still don't think he would be it. Just because, like you said, I mean, I think he was held out for the charity game that's coming up this Friday. But so he'll probably play. But like you said, there's always that risk.
yeah,
That, Ken he wasn't afraid to drop him last year, so you just don't want any risks in the rucks. So
no,
yeah, not for me.
yep. Lockie Neal. I was thinking I don't want to pay a 560 for Lockie Neal, and then a quarter in, I'm thinking, where do I find 660 from?
He has not
He,
left my
yeah.
side, mate.
Oh, he's so good around the clearance. It's so good how he finds space and just dances around other midfielders. It's
Him,
unbelievable to watch.
him and Steph Martin were actually just taking the mickey. Like he was
Yeah,
waltzing out of every centre bounce, just balking people. Just yeah, his disposal wasn't great, but when you're getting 47, I don't think it really matters.
yeah. I was trying to think of an excuse not to pick him, and then I looked at. So I was like, oh, have a look at his fixture. First three rounds, Hawthorn. Okay, I guess Hawthorn have leaked points in the past, but their midfield's getting better. Second game, North. We saw what
Yep,
Bont did to them, although without um, Higgins and
couple of
Zeeble.
mids. Yeah.
But still, North are notorious for bleeding points in the midfield without Ben Jacobs. And then round three, the Adelaide Crows.
We saw
And
what
we
the
know,
track did.
I saw, yeah. Well, I saw what Lockie Neal did to the Crows last year, and we had no answer for him. He just did whatever he wanted, and we couldn't stop him.
That's a 200 game.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me. So
It's just
yeah,
hard to find the money. That's all it
yeah,
is, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to figure out a way, even if it means killing someone I shouldn't in the forward line. I'll leave that for another day, but I really love, the durability as well. Sure, you get him cheaper at some point, but yeah, it's Lockie now.
If he comes out and averages 140 like he did last year in the first
We're in
month,
trouble. Yep,
yeah. So
that is the case for a lot of mids, though.
it is, I know. So we've got to try and just pick the ones that do that, but it's going to be tough.
Yep. Next, we have Hugh McLuggage. This kind of threw me off because I did a video on him saying you can't pick Hugh McLuggage because he's an outside player. Turns out he can play inside as well. So there is a bit more of a case for him now. I still think it's just such a massive jump to get to that 115 bracket that we're looking at this year.
Yeah.
Um, Played really well, did kick the 3 goals. I don't think, no, I definitely won't pick him. But if you really wanted to, you could. But yeah, I don't want to play around in the midfield. How do you feel
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah, we've said that for so long. I just don't see any point in picking the 500 to 550k guys. He's a gun. Like, he's actually a gun. I think he should have been All-Australian last year if they actually picked the wings
Yeah.
properly. But no, he's just going to take a step up in his game if he starts playing a bit more inside. Learning from Neil, it's nothing better for him really. So, no, he's definitely a star for the future, or now really.
So Starkovic, the last player we'll discuss today, he had a little bit of opportunity, played in the second half. Um, I think yeah, if he's named round one, I think I'll pick him. But
Yeah.
need another look at him. What do you think?
Yeah, weird. He wasn't initially picked in the side, wasn't he? And then he sort of came in the emergency or onto the bench, the deep bench that they can play, and then didn't play the first half, and we probably all got him out of our side. But then he came on, and 40 points from 45 time on ground is pretty good. That's a decent rate. If he puts 70 time on ground and plays, he's going to have a fairly good scoring capability. That's just whether or not he plays. That's the thing. Who's he fighting for a spot with? I think like Birchall, Archie, those type of guys they've brought in. So did they go with the old head in Birch, or do they go with a young kid like Starkovic? Who knows? Have to see.
I think yeah, if Birchall goes down and Starkovic isn't named round one, you'd think that Starkovic comes in.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll get another look at him. I think that's the pod for today. Lots of players to discuss. I think my team changed. I think I brought in 3 players. Probably need
after
to
10 minutes of footy.
probably need to relax a little bit. But yeah, really excited for next week. We'll
Oh
do a
yeah,
pod next week on the second round. I
yeah,
think there's a few intra clubs as well going on. Or like match sims. Like I think Essendon played the Demons B team or something like that. So stuff like that we can look at next week
yeah.
if we get
It's a
reports
long,
on it.
it's a long weekend, I think, like with the footy. So there's the Thursday game again, but I think it all goes all the way to Monday, Tuesday. So uh,
Okay, yeah.
actually, that might be next week. I'll have a look. But yeah, we got the charity match on Friday, which would be good as well.
Can't wait to see that. Get a look at Lockie Whitfield. He should be fully fit, but I'm just, you know what I'm like. I'm a little bit concerned anyway.
Yeah,
That'll be a fun game. I think maybe because they've watched the All Star game in America or the NBA, they all went all out on that game.
yeah, I know. That
They
was sick.
might, yeah, they might take inspiration from that and do the
Just
same.
pray for no injuries. That's the main thing.
Absolutely, yep. Good job,
All right,
Anna.
mate. No worries, mate.
Good to see you, and
You too.
speak soon.
See you later.